What's going on, you guys? This is New York Adventurer 1994 here. It is Friday, September 2nd, 2022. And I have another tropical update to share with you guys. So, you all know Danielle, right? Tropical Storm Danielle? Well, guess what? It became the first hurricane of the season to be in the Atlantic Basin. And the reason why Bonnie doesn't count, despite being a Cat 3 hurricane, is because it was only a tropical storm when in the Atlantic, and it had enough power to go into the Pacific as it was moving west. So Bonnie doesn't really count as a hurricane in the Atlantic because it was just a tropical storm in the Atlantic, and then it crossed over after making landfall and then went to the Pacific, and from there it straightened into a Cat 3 major hurricane, and we had Hurricane Bonnie in the Pacific. The same thing happened with Hurricane Otto back in 2016, which caused catastrophic damage, by the way. So about our two disturbances in the Atlantic. Disturbance 1 weakened a little bit. It now has a 50% chance in 2 days, which was formerly 60, and 70% chance in 5 days. It was 80, now it's downgraded to 70. So a lot of this dry air is catching up to it. You gotta remember, the Saharan dust is still there in the Atlantic, so there's still going to be trouble with developing cyclones in the Atlantic right now. So this is going to be a really slow season, I think, but still a bit active. I mean, it's active in the Atlantic right now. And disturbance 2, I don't have any confidence for that one anymore. I think that one's just going to dissipate. It only has a 10% chance in 2 days and 5 days. It was at 30%, now it's downgraded to 10%. So it's catching up with this dry air, and there's not favorable conditions to form this thing. So it looks like this disturbance is done for. But I'm more concerned about disturbance number 1 because of where it's still pointing, and it could go up the East Coast, like I said before. Yeah, this thing, where it's pointing, this thing could easily go up the East Coast of the US. Hopefully it stays on the ocean. I said that before, I'll say it again. Now about Hurricane Danielle, it like intensified into a hurricane in just 24 hours, and it's doing that loop right now in the Atlantic, and then it's gonna exit northeast direction. I just hope it doesn't stay strong for that long, and then the Azores or Europe is in big trouble. I mean, if this thing stays pretty strong for a long time, it could affect Europe. So we really need to keep our eye on Hurricane Danielle right now, because if this thing is expected to be long-lived and it's still a hurricane for a long period of time, it could affect Europe if it goes further east and stays strong for a while. So that's pretty concerning. In the Pacific, we have Tropical Storm Javier, which is expected to stay as a tropical storm only as it moves west and not affect anybody, and that disturbance behind it is rapidly growing right now. So yeah, the disturbance behind Javier in the Pacific, that definitely looks like it might become something. We'll see what happens, okay? But we need to keep our eye on Hurricane Danielle, because if this thing becomes a long-lived hurricane and goes east for a long time, it could affect Europe. And it's not uncommon for this to happen. I mean, if this happens, Europe needs to brace for impact then. And be on high alert for this thing. Yeah, that's my concern with Danielle. So, we also have to keep our eye on disturbance number 1 in the Atlantic because of where it's pointing. Remember, that could go up the East Coast and also affect the Bahamas too. So we need to keep our eyes on the tropics right now. And I guess that's it. Bye.